Smarty and Lois at Windy Acres practice night. I'm going to let it go through regular and then do a slow play review for you, Lois. You can tell that you stepped off of first because you had no room going into it. You might have started it a little early too, and we'll look at that on the slow play. But anyways, I'm excited for you to be back in the saddle and back on your boys. But don't overdo your barrel work. They know their job. I know you're trying to get your timing back. But anyways, he's on the correct lead. I like your lineup with third. He's a little horse, so he doesn't need a huge arc, but you might want to be careful with this. Don't let him fade in too soon, because right there, he's definitely, you know, you got to rim it to win it. Okay, I mean, that's just the way it is. But, and the arc's probably okay, but right here, he's just gotten in a little bit of a habit of, with his power, he's quick, of taking that little step off on the exits. So, you're either going to have to do one of two things. To give him a little more room going in and really get your turn on the backside by sitting back more with your hip and shoulder and bumping with your inside hand and leg, you know, a little 2-inch lift on the backside between spot 2 and spot 3 and tap with that outside leg. Or, you know, if you keep going at him with this tight of in, you're going to have to do a lot more assertive on your out with those cues. So, you know, the step off, he hasn't swapped his lead yet, and he didn't until he got there. But that's, you know, no big deal. It was a pretty smooth transition. I ask for my horses to switch leads as soon as they leave the barrels, just so it becomes a habit. And I do that with a change in my body in the saddle and then my leg and leg cue. So anyways, you know, he's really getting nice into the ground there. You know, you have 1, 2 strides rate, 1, 2 strides around the barrel. That barrel looks really good. Still, it had gotten to be a habit of stepping off, so just make sure your hand is nice and low here. He's really working, get under himself here, but instead of letting yourself get up here, you know, just shift your weight on that exit. You know, just let that shoulder drop back. If you let that shoulder drop back a little bit, sometimes he can leave straighter, and tap with that outside leg. Your leg was on him, so you did good there. So that looks really good, Lois. 1, 2 strides rate, 1, 2 strides in and out. That barrel looks really good too. So you're doing great. I'm glad you're back in the saddle. Probably no more excited than anyone is you to be back in the saddle. So I will see you Friday and Saturday. MC in the rodeo.